Welcome, Goblins, to this week's special edition of the H-Town Rundown. I'm Gigi Crenshaw.
And I'm Lexi Springer.
And this is Gob TV News.
This week we were reporting from the U.S. Capitol, Washington, D.C. at the Student Television Network Convention.
Despite the cancellation of STN, Gob TV has made it a goal to enjoy our time here and learn as much as possible about the history of our nation's capital and surrounding areas.
In this edition, we will look at what the coronavirus is, how has it impacted convention schools, how you can avoid contracting and spreading the disease, and how Gob TV spent their day and a half in the city.
First up, Dalton Adams covers the Gob TV experience from an interview with one of the STN board members, an advisor, chaperone, and students from the convention.
I'm Dalton Adams here with Gob TV in Washington, D.C., introducing the cancellation of the Student Television Network's film competition. We talked to Beth Kennedy, an STN South Regional board member, about how this all came to be.
It was a really painful decision because I was outvoted, and a lot of the other people felt like it's going to get worse. And honestly, within 2 hours, it did get worse because they announced the state of emergency. And once you're in a state of emergency, you got no leverage. There's no choice. We're feeling heartbroken. I mean, this has never happened in the history of STN. We've never dealt with anything like this.
Gob TV had just touched down in D.C. when they found out about the cancellation.
We found out about the cancellation of STN literally as we landed at the Reagan Airport. Everybody's excited to come to STN every year. It's our biggest competition every year, and it's one of those things where every group gets to put together their own team to create the best content that they can. You get to use students' individual talents and gifts in videography and storytelling, photography, all of it, and you get to combine those kids to make a team that you think is going to win a category. And so everybody was excited to be here, and you just kind of have the wind knocked out of you when you find out that it doesn't happen.
We know what you guys put into coming here. We know that many schools don't have the funds to just ask mom and dad to take it out of the bank, that kids are fundraising for a long time, working so hard, convincing their parents, convincing their administration, just doing so much in preparation to come here. And then to take that away from them when they arrive was horrible.
We talked to some students to get an idea of how this affected them.
My first reaction whenever Ms. Crow told us that the convention got canceled was I was definitely in shock, because this is like a really big part of the year with all of us, and it just got canceled, and we just landed, and we were all really excited that we're in DC and we're going to be able to see all these places. We're going to go to New York this weekend, and we weren't able to do any of that because it got canceled. I think we've all kind of made the most out of this trip by cramming everything we can do into one day. We looked at all the museums, the Air and Space and the Natural History Museum. We looked at all the monuments last night and the Monument Night Tour, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been very crammed, but it's been fun, and we've learned quite a bit.
Finally, we asked a parent and a first-time chaperone about her experience and how she plans on moving forward.
Well, when we arrived, we had an exciting trip on the metro and got to our hotel, got to tour some historic places in DC, went to the Smithsonian. I actually took my group to Georgetown and we did some shopping, and and me personally, I have a friend that lives here, so I got to visit her last night, and it's been great. Honestly, I just tried to do everything we could. I knew we had a couple of days, and we just packed it all in, and sometimes things happen, and that's just the way it is. So we just enjoyed today and yesterday, and keep going. I do have a child with disabilities, and but I am personally not sick. My Gigi, who's with me, is not sick. So, and I've talked to my doctor, and they've said just to treat it like, like I've been around people that maybe have had the flu or anything else, and sanitize, wash your hands, don't be kissing on those babies.
From Washington, D.C., I'm Dalton Adams with GovTV.
Life most definitely has not stopped here in D.C.
Next up, Claire Curtis and Ella Kate Reynolds look at what school could look like in the weeks ahead if the district's AMI days are used.
Although Harrison schools are fortunate to not have closed yet, this video will show you as a student or parent of a student how to locate and complete schoolwork at home.
Good afternoon, Global Nation. We are coming to you today from Washington, D.C. As many of you know, the recent outbreak of coronavirus has turned into a global pandemic. Although Harrison is not one of the 4 counties where schools have been closed due to the coronavirus, in the case of Harrison School District using AMI days and keeping the students at home, the district's main goal is to keep students and staff prepared and safe. GovTV student Parker Keener met with HHS principal Mr. Parker this morning. Here's what he had to say.
We're very prepared. Our staff is currently creating digital lessons. They've been preparing for this for about a week now in the case that we have to close. But I think overall we're very prepared. Our students, we have one-to-one Chromebooks, so our students have a device they can take home and continue their learning. We ask that students keep their Chromebooks charged and they stay in communication with their teachers about their lessons and any assignments due. We have a learning management system called Canvas that many of our teachers already use and access. Others use Google Classroom, so we have lots of digital tools that enable us to keep lessons and assignments and quizzes in front of students. Virtual Arkansas, we have lots of students take digital online classes, and Virtual Arkansas can still continue to run and be effective. All of these systems, Harrison School District already has in place to ensure learning can take place at the highest level possible, especially when you have testing coming up here in April, the state testing, the ACT Aspire. The Harrison School District is even exploring possibilities of continuing a feeding program if we have to close our doors. Now, of course, this goes through the National School Lunch Program, the USDA, the Arkansas Department of Education, but we are in contact with them and reaching out to them to receive guidance if that's a possibility for those students that still need breakfast and lunch served to them. So rest assured, the Harrison School District is taking every precaution necessary to hopefully keep our doors open as much as possible. But in the event that we do have to close, we feel prepared and that learning can still take place. Please remember to follow us on Remind and Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for any updates and information that might be pertaining to you and your student. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Parker. Elementary school students should be provided with packets from their teachers to continue schoolwork like normal. If any of these packets have been misplaced, go to the school district website at harrisongoblins.org and select the school and click AMI Packet tab. This will explain to you what an AMI day is, and you can find the work needed to do for kids K through 12.
Many upperclassmen at HHS are also enrolled in concurrent classes at North Arkansas College. According to Sarah Bing, the director of concurrent enrollment at North Ark, faculty has been asked to be prepared to move their classes to an online format at any moment, should the need arise. Classes that include labs and hands-on components are being evaluated critically to determine what is possible through online formats, and if needed, the end of the semester could be extended for those classes. Our leadership team is evaluating this situation throughout each day, and any updates will be posted on the dedicated website, northark.edu/coronavirus. Students can access their classes through the North Ark portal and Canvas.
Make sure you are following and staying updated with the district's social media. From the nation's capital, this is Shay House
and Claire Curtis.
Being digital and one-to-one in Harrison is a useful tool for students.
As a reminder, Harrison has not closed to date.
To close this episode, Ty Phillips and Drake Cotton will be showing some of the great things the GovTV students have seen. Despite the trip being cut short, those schools in attendance have all made it a goal to learn as much as possible during the shortened time in DC. Let's go to Ty and Drake.
Hi, and welcome to this daily tour of all the monuments. We've only had a day to go and look around, so I'm going to show you what we've found all in one day. So, to get around and see all of these monuments, you got to have a means of transportation. Lucky for us, we got scooters. This is GovTV Monument Tour. We are here now at the Capitol building, home of the United States Congress. As you can see, this is a pretty big building by the Supreme Court and also a great place to ride your scooters. Now, to the next monument. Our next stop is this National Gallery of Art, where magnificent pieces of art are being held. Off to the next monument. Next stop on this wonderful tour is the National Air and Space Museum. I know you can't see it too well behind me, but this place has really cool simulators, lots of information, some cool stuff about our space and air programs. What a place to be. As you can see here by the Capitol building, we have amazing statues. Just magnificent. Look at these lions. What a great trip we've had today. Fun time in DC. Well, that's all the monuments we have for today. And that one day of neat history. With Gob TV, I'm Ty Phillips, bringing all the monument tours to you.
As we wrap up this special edition of the H-Town Rundown, we would like to give out a few important reminders.
Students, teachers, and parents, remember to wash your hands as much as possible with soap.
Try and avoid public places and public transport as much as possible, and try and keep hand sanitizer handy.
And of course, try to use this stressful time to reconnect with your friends and family. During these times of crisis, it is important to stay mentally and physically healthy, so it will be important to try and stay calm and find comfort in others.
With that, we close this special edition of the H-Town Rundown.
Stay safe.